Welcome back to episode 3 of our Python Basics series. Today, we're going to be doing something a little different. Rather than getting into Visual Studio Code, we're just going to take a look at an overview of data types and then break each one down in future episodes. So far, we've learned about print statements and variables. One thing to keep in mind is that this series is like a puzzle where you're learning about each individual piece that eventually is all going to get put together. Every video in the series is like a tool that Python makes available to you. Once you understand how to use each one of these tools, you'll be able to use them however you'd like to build stuff. Today, we're going to go over the most important and most used data types. This isn't every single one available, but it contains the most useful ones for you to learn. Variables can store data of different types, which is why it's important that we understand the ones that we can use. In other series on the channel, we may discuss other data types, but today we're only going to focus on the built-in ones. Different data types are good for achieving different things, so it's good to understand them as well as when we should use them. The first data type we're going to look at are text types. More specifically, we're going to look at strings. This was something seen in episodes 1 and 2 of our Python Basics series. Strings are denoted using a single quote, double quote, or triple double quotes. Something good to know is that in Python, we don't have a character data type. A character is simply a string with a length of 1. So for example, a string would be, this is a string. You can see that I denoted it was a string by putting double quotes around the sentence. Next, we're going to look at numeric types, which include integers and floats. Integers can be 0, positive, or negative whole numbers. Floats represent the floating point number. Unlike strings, integers and floats do not contain quotes. They are simply the whole number or a number in the decimal point. For example, 27 is an integer, but 27.0 is a float. Moving on, we're going to look at sequence types, which include lists and tuples. Lists can store multiple items in a single variable. In our example, each word in "this is a list" is an item of the list. These can be empty or have many values stored within them. Lists use brackets around the outside, and values are separated by a comma. Tuples are also used to store multiple items in a single variable. However, a tuple is ordered and unchangeable. In our example, each word in "this is a tuple" is an item of the tuple. The size and order of the tuple will not change, unlike a list. Tuples use parentheses, and values are separated by a comma. For mapping types, we have dictionaries. Dictionaries are used to store data values using a key and a value. You cannot have duplicates within a dictionary. Dictionaries use curly brackets and have keys and values. The keys and values are separated by a semicolon, and each pair is separated by a comma. So in our example, key 1 maps to the value 1, and key 2 maps to the value 2. And finally, we have Boolean types. Booleans are either two values, they're true or false. These are written with a capital T or a capital F. So these most often get used when representing the truth value of expressions. This is something that we're going to use quite often, especially once we get into if, elif, and else statements. In future videos, we're going to individually look at each one of the data types and learn more about how to use them within our code. Thank you for watching, and please make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. In the next episode, we will be talking about strings.